New details now emerging following a devastating shooting. A former National Guardsman accused of shooting and killing 8 children. 7 of them were his own. Some family members jumping from the roof to escape. Here's Steve Osunsami.
This is ring camera video of police in suburban Shreveport, Louisiana, rushing to the scene. And the tragedy here is putting new focus tonight on domestic abuse.
The female saying there's 9 subjects that live inside the residence. Say he may have shot them all.
Family members say that the wife, who is still fighting for her life this evening and whose children are dead, had told her husband she wanted a divorce and was scheduled to appear in court with him today. Police say that 31-year-old Shamar Elkins, seen here in photos posted on social media, responded Sunday with gunfire from an assault-style weapon, killing 7 of his own children and 1 of their cousins, 3 boys, 5 girls, 3 to 11 years old. A woman and a child who made it out alive had to jump off the roof of the home.
8 innocent children losing their lives as a result of domestic violence.
The school system says that one of those children, a 6-year-old, had just passed a childhood literacy test.
Just last week, I had the opportunity to celebrate him because he had met his benchmark goals.
Authorities say the father died in a shootout with police after gunning down his own family at 2 different homes, where he also wounded his wife and another woman. Parents who know the family say that America should focus on the children and not their father.
I'm myself, and I'm a grandmother as well. And it just makes you take your children and hug them and hold them and tell them how much you love them. Because you just don't know.
The father was former military in the Louisiana National Guard, but police are still trying to figure out how he was able to get a hold of a gun. He has a felony firearms conviction from several years ago that should have prevented this, and his family says that he was getting treated for mental health issues at his local VA. Funeral arrangements for his children are still being put together tonight. David.
We're just thinking about that whole family. Steve, thanks.
Picture a quiet Sunday morning in Shreveport, Louisiana, April 19, 2026. The sun is barely up, families are still asleep, kids are tucked into their beds. And then the calls start coming in. Police dispatchers receive the first report just before 6 a.m. A caller says they are on top of a roof. They are terrified. They say someone inside the house has already shot people. Then a second call comes in from a different address. Same suspect, more victims. By the time the sun fully rises over Shreveport, 8 children are dead. The youngest is just 1 year old. The oldest, 14, 2 women lie critically wounded, and a 12-year-old girl, desperate to survive, has jumped from the roof of the home to escape. What unfolded across 4 separate crime scenes that morning would be confirmed as the deadliest mass shooting in the United States in more than 2 years. The man at the center of it all, he wasn't a stranger lurking in the dark. He was someone those children knew, someone they trusted, someone they called family. His name was Shamar Elkins. And what drove him to this moment, the warning signs, the failures, the unanswered calls for help, is a story that demands to be told. This is the Shreveport tragedy, and this is what really happened. Shamar Elkins was 31 years old. On the surface, he was an ordinary man, a UPS delivery worker, a father of many, a neighbor who waved to people across the street. The night before the shooting, a neighbor named Freddie Montgomery had seen him sitting on the front porch, watching children play in the yard. He waved. Elkins waved back. But Elkins's life had been fractured long before that morning. He was born to a teenage mother, Mahalia, who gave him away due to her dependency on crack cocaine. He was raised by a family friend named Betty Walker, a woman who stepped in when no one else would. He eventually reconnected with his biological mother in his mid-20s. He had served in the Louisiana Army National Guard as a signal and fire support specialist from 2013 to 2020. He was never deployed. He left as a private. In 2019, he was arrested for illegally using a weapon near a school. He pleaded guilty and was placed on probation. That conviction likely made him legally prohibited from ever owning a firearm again. He married twice. His second wife was Shaniqua Pug. Together they had several children, but by early 2026, that marriage was in freefall. His brother told reporters Elkins had been devastated, repeating over and over, "Bro, I don't want to lose my wife." The children he killed that Sunday were between 1 and 14 years old. 7 were his own. The 8th was a young cousin. They had names, they had futures, they had done nothing wrong. They are the ones this story is truly about. 5:55 a.m., the terror begins on Harrison Street. Elkins shows up armed at the home of his ex-wife, Christina Snow. He shoots her 9 times, and takes her 3 children. Somehow, Christina Snow survives. Moments later, Elkins drives to a home on the 300 block of West 79th Street. This is where his wife Shaniqua Pug is staying, along with their children and other family members, including a 12-year-old who would be the only child in the house to escape. According to Shreveport Police Corporal Christopher Bordelon, most of the children appear to have been shot in their sleep, shot in the head. Bordelon's words were haunting. "It is a disgusting and evil scene." The 12-year-old girl, desperate, terrified, and somehow still alive, climbs to the roof of the house and jumps. Her injuries are not life-threatening. She is the one who makes the first 911 call, telling dispatchers she is on the roof and the suspect is inside. Shaniqua Pug is shot but survives. 6:15 a.m. Elkins exits the home. He approaches a man near the intersection of Linwood Avenue and West 79th Street, just blocks from Caddo Magnet High School, and carjacks his vehicle at gunpoint. Police are now receiving calls from multiple crime scenes simultaneously. Patrol cars, detectives, and emergency responders fan out across at least 4 separate locations. 6:29, officers locate the carjacked vehicle in neighboring Bossier Parish and engage Elkins in a chase. Gunfire is exchanged. Elkins is shot by officers. 7:03 a.m. Shamar Elkins is pronounced dead on the scene. Police Chief Wayne Smith later notes that it remains under investigation whether Elkins died from police gunfire or a self-inflicted wound. In less than 90 minutes, 8 children are dead, 2 women are fighting for their lives, and Shreveport will never be the same. How does a man, a father, reach a point like this? The investigators, the family members, the neighbors, they all ask the same question, and the answer is both devastating and complicated. Elkins and his wife Shaniqua Pug were scheduled to appear in court on Monday, April 20, the very day after the shooting, to finalize their divorce. That legal end date appeared to be a breaking point for Elkins. According to Time magazine and the Associated Press, Elkins had made a threat years earlier, reportedly telling Pug in 2023, when she had first considered leaving, "If you try to leave, I'll kill you, my kids, and myself." That threat was documented, and then it was forgotten. His brother-in-law Troy Brown, who lived in the home on West 79th Street, told the AP he had tried everything to help Elkins cope. Walking, dominoes, conversation. He had noticed Elkins was struggling and had even asked him if he needed to go back to the hospital. Elkins said he was fine. "I'm just gonna deal with it." Brown's response after the tragedy was heartbreaking. "I wish he went ahead and got the help. All I know is he just snapped." In January 2026, Elkins had checked himself into a VA hospital for mental health treatment. He stayed for a week and a half. Family said he seemed better when he returned, but the underlying crisis had not resolved. Then came the final warning. On April 5, just 2 weeks before the massacre, Elkins called his mother Mahalia and his stepfather Marcus Jackson. He told them he was having dark thoughts, including thoughts of suicide. Then he ended the call with a line that still haunts those who heard it. "Some people don't come back from their demons." No intervention followed. There is also the matter of the gun. Elkins was legally prohibited from owning a firearm due to his 2019 weapons conviction. So where did he get the rifle used in the shooting? The ATF and Shreveport police traced the weapon. The original purchaser identified a man named Charles Ford, a 56-year-old convicted felon, as the person she had given the gun to. On April 21, federal authorities arrested Ford. He initially denied ever having the weapon. He later admitted he'd had it under his car seat and that he believed Elkins had taken it from him. Ford now faces federal charges related to illegally possessing a firearm and for his role in placing the weapon in Elkins' hands. The United States Attorney overseeing the case, Zachary Keller, said plainly, "Elkins' death means our community will never see him face justice. Our hope is that holding the person whose gun he used accountable will give some small bit of solace to our Shreveport community." Here is where the story gets even more disturbing. Shreveport Police Chief Wayne Smith confirmed that Elkins' name was in the department system before the massacre. His 2019 firearms conviction was on record. His probation was on record. And yet, no one connected the dots in time to prevent what happened. Even more troubling, in March 2026, just weeks before the shooting, the Shreveport City Council voted to withdraw from a partnership with the Caddo Parish Sheriff's Office to operate a domestic violence resource center. The center would have been housed at a new police substation. It was scrapped before it ever opened. Then came the statistics that stunned the room at the press conference. Police noted that over 30% of crimes and murders in Shreveport are domestic in nature. With this single act, Elkins more than doubled the city's homicide count for the entire year in one morning. Police Commander Boucher put it plainly, "We can have 100 new police cars, we can have a brand new substation, but until we stop this cycle of violence, we're going to still be standing here, and it's only going to get worse." Those words hang in the air over Shreveport, because right now they feel like a prophecy. As of April 22, 2026, the investigation is ongoing on multiple fronts. The primary perpetrator, Shamar Elkins, is dead. He will never stand trial. He will never face a jury. The one person facing federal charges is Charles Ford, the man who, investigators say, allowed the murder weapon to end up in Elkins' hands. Christina Snow, shot 9 times that morning, is reportedly in serious condition, but alive. Shaniqua Pug also survived. The 12-year-old who jumped from the roof is recovering. The community of Shreveport has been rocked to its core. Vigils have been held. Social media has flooded with tributes. Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry called it horrific. House Speaker Mike Johnson pledged federal assistance. Representative Cleo Fields said simply, "There are no words." The calls now are for action, for domestic violence resources, for better mental health pipelines, for stricter enforcement of firearm prohibitions, and for a community that takes threats seriously before tragedy strikes. 8 children went to sleep on the night of April 18, 2026, safe in their beds with their whole lives ahead of them. They never woke up. Their names deserve to be remembered. Their lives deserve to be protected. And the systems that failed them, the courts, the mental health pathways, the gun tracing networks, the domestic violence infrastructure, all of it demands a hard and honest reckoning. Because those 8 children were not statistics, they were real, they were loved, and they are gone. To the 8 children lost on West 79th Street and Harrison Avenue on April 19, 2026, your lives mattered deeply, your light was extinguished far too soon, and you will not be forgotten. May your memory be the force that finally changes things. The warning signs were there, the calls for help were made, and still 8 children died. Do you believe the system failed these kids? What should have been done differently? Tell me in the comments below. This conversation matters.